Hello, welcome to the Animation Factory, and welcome to this first video on the vlogs. Well, I know that I said that the vlogs will be showing you um, how I make my animation series, but in this very first vlogs, I'd like to show you how to work in the way of the Animation Factory. So today we're going to try and create a scene whereby things are torn apart, things are in destruction. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to open Blender, and then I'm going to open this scene here. It's called an infinity plane. Essentially what this scene is this. It's just one big plane. So this is our scene right here. Exactly, as you can see, we have a beautiful sky texture. So we are going to create things and we're going to put them here. Now this is a very big plane, so the objects will be, I'll make sure that they look very tiny. So let's do it. So I'm going to try and do it with as little assets as possible. So I have come here. When it comes to the downloads, I have downloaded assets that I think I'll need. I'm going to need this one, destroyed house 1. Might as well just extract here and then come here to destroyed house 2, extract here. These are in Windows WinRAR file. So I'm going to need I'm going to have a tank. I should just have this tank here, extract here, and then I'm going to have essentially I'm just trying to create some kind of a battlefield scene, maybe in this one here, and then I'm going to have a lot of this destroyed concrete. I'm just extracting them here so that I'll show you what I'll do with them. And then I'll come here, destroyed car, extract here, and yeah, maybe this one here. So yeah, so that's it. So I'll come to my scene here. The first thing that I'll do is I'll start importing these things. This is a very huge, that is a very huge plane, as you can see here. Yeah, I think I can't even see that. Yeah, the center. What I should do is press Shift S and take the cursor to center, and then come back here, select this plane here. What have I done? Oh, unfortunately this scene was actually changed so that you can match. So that's right click will select, and that will confuse me, so I'll just load the factory settings, and then I'll save startup file. Then I'll just have to open it. Where's the infinity plane? Need to make sure. Oh my god, turns out that this function is actually saved within the file. So yeah, right click actually doesn't select in this. I'll just work around with it anyway. So Shift S, cursor to center, and Shift S selected to cursor so that it's right at the center. Yeah, so like I said, let me go back here so that I can pivot myself. I'm going to press delete on the keyboard. There we go. I just like to work around this place because it helps me to not get lost. So what are we going to do? We're going to append. What are we going to append? Yeah, so we're going to append this object. So I'm going to go to the Animation Factory. The good thing is that all the objects are just grouped. I'm going to append them like that. So here we have our destroyed car. Yes, as you can see. This is our destroyed car. What I'm going to try and do is scatter them on that beautiful sphere right there. I mean, plane. Yep. So that is the first thing that I'm going to put it. I'm going to try and have each one in their own layer. So append. Going to go back. Destroyed car 2 in groups. Destroyed car 2. There we go. Yep, as you can see, just going to let's do this quickly, because the main purpose of these is that you should be able to set up a scene as quickly as possible. So yeah, let's try to do that in as small time as possible. Okay, so yep, append. I'm going to just try and have everything in my scene here, and then I'm just not even going to check each one of them because I already know they work. So append destroyed concrete 2 group, take that guy, append. So I'm just going to append these. I'm going to put each one in their own layer so that I'm not confused. Oops, append. Destroyed house group, open. Oh, this one is a big one. I could have linked, but I just prefer to append because sometimes I do make changes. Okay, so there it is. There's the big house. So you can see if I select this thing, it's the controller, I can just pull it down. So yeah, there we go. File. Oh, I should save, by the way, before anything crashes. Save as. I'm going to save this vlog 1, whatever. So append and go back again. Destroyed house 2. Where's the group? Oh my god. Do you see the word group here? No, I guess this one wasn't grouped. Anyway, no problem. I'll just go here to, what else do I need? Have I taken the tank? Yeah. There we go. A beautiful tank. The good thing about these models is that they all behave the same. They're all of the same style, so there's never this thing like you have a very realistic house and a very not realistic tank. Yeah, so that's the good thing about them. Yeah, so okay, now let's try to set up our scene. It was on this layer. So this is our scene. Now this is our big plane. What we are going to do, I should come here maybe to material view so that you can have a sense of what is happening. What I'm going to do, where's the cursor? Press Shift S, cursor to center, and then I'm going to add a plane, mesh plane. I'm going to scale this plane. I'm going to use particles, and I'm also going to use duplicates. That's what I think until now. So yeah, there we go. Particles. What kind of particles? Hair. Number, should set it to 10 right now, and then should come here to particles, render group, display rendered. So yeah, render group. What group am I going to use? I'm going to use destroyed concrete 1. And as you can see, the destroyed concrete is happening, but it's rotated. So usually that's the problem that you have to come. Let me click here, advanced. And after you click advanced, where's that place? You have to fix. There's a place here you have to fix. Keep on forgetting where it is, but it's actually very important. Yeah, here, rotation. Just change one of these. Yeah, it worked. The reason why I say changed one of these, because it depends. Sometimes, you know, that this might not be the section. So just try one of these until it works. And then, where's that pass render? Do you want to render the emitter? No, don't render the emitter. I want this plane to just control these particles, but not be visible on its own. So there, one thing we have, but one thing which is sad is that I cannot add multiple groups. So yeah, so I'll just try see if I can. Yeah, just add a group. This is the part where it's confusing even for me, and I'm not going to edit this part out because I want you to see. So let me go back to the destroyed concrete. Control me number 2, 002, control me 003, control me 004. I'm going to create a new group from these. Going to select them, going to press Ctrl G, group. I'm going to call them concrete. And then when I come back here, I actually select this one. I'm going to change the group and select this concrete group. So right now when I come to material, it will be selecting in various ways. I mean, depending, it's going to randomly select from each one of those. So now let's play. Now this is right now I only have 10 particles. What I should do is add more and more and more and more and more and more. There we go. Going to press here Shift Z to see how it looks like. Would you look at that? It's coming into play. One thing that I've noticed about this thing that's going to be difficult is because this plane is so stretched out, the texture is not looking right. So I'm going to scale it in, you know, so that it can blend in a bit. All right, that is so crazy. So let's see if I can take it to 1,000. See how it looks like. Okay, so one thing I want to do is make sure it is as random as possible. So we're going to come and play here with some settings that are going to make it random. I'm going to have random sizes, and then I could have played with this, but this is going to affect the rotation. I'm just going to put it to 0. Yeah, so yeah, I'm going to play. Oops, I forgot because of the rotation. Now one thing I always try to look out is that it should just look good from the camera perspective in which I'm going to be looking at. So it's not really that important for it to look good from all views, just from the view that I feel that's how the camera is going to be, because this is all about cheating now. So let's go back here. Let's add this number. Let's take it to somewhere around 5,000. Right. And then let's add some children. Well, the reason why I'm also adding children, because to make sure it doesn't use too much memory. And another problem that I have already realized is because I have very few, let's say, samples. Should I say samples? Very few, because I only have 3 destroyed concrete. That's why this scene is not it's not looking that realistic. I needed to have like at least even 5 or 7. The more the better. So I'm going to select here interpolated. Wow, what is this? Though it's looking like very, so I'm going to set this render also to 10, and okay, the scene is becoming heavy now. It's looking good. Let's try to take it down. So essentially, what is happening here is the number of particles becomes 7 times this 1688, and that seems to be a lot. So let me reduce the number of particles and of children. I wanted the scene to be crowded, but not too crowded. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that, because I'll also later on add houses and stuff. Yeah, so wow, that's sexy. So that is, after doing that, I think I should take this also to be 2. And one thing that I will do is I'll try to create a path, a way for these people to pass. So change the view. My god, it's thick. It's very thick. It's very thick. I'm thinking of a way to make sure it's not as heavy. Let me hide it for now. Display none. Okay, so I'll take this plane. I'll go to edit mode. I'll add a few faces. Oh my god, what have I done? I'll add a few faces because I'm going to use weight paint, and weight paint actually requires me to have some faces. I'm going to use weight paint so that I can create path, and then I'm going to use that path to tell this this particle system that, hey, I want here to be a way where you'll see what I mean. So this, I don't think this will look nice, but let me try. So after I've had, by the way, you might have noticed that I'm not very beginner friendly, because these things that I'm doing right here, I'm assuming you already know there's a white paint, you already know what it does. So I'm sorry, but I'll try. But I'm not very beginner friendly. So what I did here is I went to this part where it's called the white paint mode. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint here, and then I'm going to use this white paint information to tell the particle system that, hey, I don't want you to have content here. So let me show you how I do it. So I'm going to go to the particle system, and this part where say filled weights. Is this the part? Wait. Yeah, so weight says my god, I haven't used this in a while. I haven't used it in a while, to the point I am starting to forget. Yeah, here to vertex groups, sorry. Then here on density, I'm going to select the group which was created in weight paint mode, and then I'm going to click here negate. What it means is that when I selected group, what it did was, because I'm hiding things here, maybe I should try and show you what is happening. Click here. Oops, not that. Here. Essentially what I just told. Yeah, so before I clicked negate, what happened is all these will try to cram themselves in the paint, but when I click negate, they'll do the opposite. So remember when I started, I was like, hey, I'm not sure if it's going to work. Well, the reason was because there are a few faces and I wasn't sure about these parts here. But anyway, I'm just creating a scene here. I want it to look good. Let's see how it does. Wow, so sexy. All I'm doing is creating something that is going to look good from this angle or from a certain angle. I'm not going to care much about, you know, the entire camera movement that somebody should be able to like move around. I'm not going to care about that right now, because filmmaking is all about framing. It's all about showing people what you want them to show. If I show them this, they'll imagine this is a very big place, and yeah. So by the way, I would like to note, if I had more, which I'm not going to do because I'm lazy, but anyway, if I had more concrete objects, this would have looked more realistic. But here it's not, because there are just 3 of them. I need to have like at least 7 or more, so that there can be a variation. Yeah, so I wanted to add some variation here in terms of rotation, but that's going to take time until I figure it out how to make it to have random z-axis rotation. So no, thank you. I'm not gonna waste that time, because time is precious. So what else are we going to do now that we've added that? One thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to come here and where's that house? Destroyed house. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to, you see these objects, I'm going to add these objects, not using the particle system, but by using dupliverts. So how do I do that? So essentially, let me show you what I mean. I shouldn't be confused. So let me just come here, press Shift S, cursor to center. Where's cursor to center? Yeah, there. And then I'm going to add, let's say, plane, and then I'm going to come here to objects, and then I'm going to come here to duplication. I'm going to click faces, and oh my god, what is happening is essentially I keep on forgetting these parts every now and then. So this is so confusing. I need to remember. I just used this feature yesterday. Think. That's not how it works. Let me think. All right, I found it. All right, so I found it. Can you imagine? It took me like a decade. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click here. When you come here to duplication, I actually come here to group. I'm going to select the group, which is destroyed house. So essentially this is going to save on the calculations, as I should call it. So what Blender is going to do is only going to calculate for one of these houses. So even if I duplicate multiples, it's not going to be that heavy on the memory. So I'm just going to press Shift D. I'm going to move this other here, and I'm just going to try and position them in this layer over here. Oops, they're too big. Oh my god, I didn't account for that. But let me try to scale it down. I'll delete this one. There we go. Delete this one. Select this. Scale it down. Select. Now this scene is heavy. Scale it down. Scale it down. One thing I could do. Is actually select this plane here, which is, I'm sure, is the one making the scene heavy, and then I'll be like, hey, come here, I don't want you to show me. What I'm going to try to do is take 1688, which is like 1700 times 2, and then I'm going to I'll put here 4, and then I'll divide this by 2. Yeah, so this is going to be 800 now. And then I'm going to have here children 4. That way it's not going to be as heavy, because the number of children is the one which causes the memory to be high. But I mean, the number of particles causes the memory to go high, but what these children, it means is that they are objects which are not going to be calculated. So I could have just had, like, let's say 100 particles, and then maybe 10 children. That means each particle has 10 children. That means each particle has children who will be copying its calculations. So there are 10 other particles who will not be calculated. That's what I should say. So let's continue. Going to select this. Oh my god, have I saved? Okay, I need to save. Before things go crazy. And for now, I should completely disable this. I shouldn't even see it. Let's do this for now, so that you can set this up. So, oops, go up. Rotate Z-axis. I'm just using my memory to try and remember which part had the gap. But I'm going to try select this, and oops, this, just set it to none for now. Let me see if I go back to group. Yeah, so this is the gap right here. It's still heavy, but I just need to see. I'm not going to have so many of these houses because it's going to be repetitive. I'm just going to have them, just 2 of them, and just on one side of the road. Okay, good. Now that we are done with that, I'll just come here, Shift S, cursor to center. I like to have my things on the center. I'm going to add a Shift A mesh plane. I'm going to use the same method as before. Duplication. I'm going to duplicate military tank. Should I use military tank? Yeah, military tank. So yeah, there we go. So this military tank is going to be a derivative. I'm going to use this house here for scale. So yeah, I think that's perfect. And because these houses are like that, should rotate z-axis 90 degrees, negative 90. I want them to be going in that direction. Good. Going to duplicate it, take it front. I'm going to rotate the axis just to have some variation. I'm going to have much here going on, but yeah, I'm going to have something at least. Okay, here we go again. Shift A, mesh plane. Yeah, what am I going to add here? Military vehicle 3. Also going to take, compared with the tank for scale, scale it down. This one is actually a little bit smaller than the tank, so maybe, oops, let's see. Should it be bigger or smaller? This is so confusing. Anyway, there we go. I'm going to have it somehow. Let's see how it matches up with the house so that it don't go inside the house. But I don't know how military formations work. I don't know who is supposed to be on the front, either the tanks or these ones, but I think it should be the tank, because you don't want to blow up your brigade. So let's have this guy on the back. So these scenes look much better when I have variety, like if I had other houses here, but I'm not going to do that right now because I'm just showing you what is capable, and you're going to use your imagination. Oh my god, I should save. You're going to use your imagination to know. Oh, and also this guy is already outside. Should have him on the back. Good. We're going somewhere. Let's see how it's going to look like. I need to take these guys here, and I need to re-enable their monstrosity. There we go. Okay, let's see how it looks like, and save. Wow, looking pretty good, I would say. Looking pretty good. So that is how I quickly set up this scene. So one thing that I could add is, good thing I have what I need is these mountains here. These have some mountain scenes here. I'm going to add them, so that they can fill up the place there at the back. Yeah, like that. Okay, so voila, we have a scene, don't we? We have a scene that we have set up in, like, I don't know, half an hour. Now I'm not going to animate this, but you can get the point, of how quickly it took us to build this. It would have taken far much longer if I wasn't using the way of the animation factory. But there we have. So this is a scene. We can have it's not perfect because this plane over here has been stretched, but it's a pretty decent scene. I'm going to try and reduce some caustics. Oh, it doesn't have caustics, but it's a pretty decent scene because yeah, it's pretty decent. Come on, look at it. It's so sexy, it's beautiful, it's mesmerizing. So I'm going to, should I add like some compositing? Let me try to do some compositing with this. Now remember, I don't even know what I'm going to do with the compositing. I'm just doing it things off the bat. So I'm going to try and add the camera here. I just pressed Control Alt 0, select son of a bitch camera, and see if, yeah, I like to have it at 14mm. Yeah. So one thing I need to add, I need to make sure that I have here in passes, I need to have this mist pass. Yeah. What else do I need to do? Well, I just need to, yeah, need to have this mist path. I should have it to 1080. Take it that. I have seen this scene looks kind of good in 32 samples, and this I'm using Blender 2.78. It doesn't have the denoising feature, but that is something I would have added, but not now. So where is that part sampling? I'm going to, yeah, I've seen that it looks good in with 32 samples. Sometimes you need to add more. You know, there's no formula for reducing noise in Blender. It's just crazy. I'm going to save again. After I save, I'm going to set up the nodes before I even do anything, because I kind of forgot. I want to add some what do you call it? Some what is that thing that you call? Yeah, some mist, like some, you know, this thing whereby things at a distance they don't look as clear, I should say. So I'm going to try and do I'm going to add this mix node, RGB mix node, and then I'm going to take this mist and then I'm going to put it here as a factor. Then before I do anything crazy, I should try and select the camera. You know, the camera usually has there's this thing in the camera. It shows you, this is exactly what I need. The mist, I need to see like the distance of the mist on the camera. What is this? So yeah, so this thing is going to be like a guide telling me like which part is going to be in focus. So there's this oh my god, this scene is becoming heavy now. So there's, oh, and before I do anything crazy, you have to make sure that the camera in this part here where it says clipping, you have it at as maximum as possible. There's a tendency where there are objects whereby if they go beyond this distance they are not going to appear, but yeah, as in here we are going to, yeah, they're going to appear because I've set it to like a billion or something. What else? I need to make sure this mist is usually controlled here. Yeah, you can actually set a distance if you want, you know, how this big thing to be. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I pull it up, you will see that it's moving. I hope you do. Yep. Yeah, it's moving. It's most definitely moving. And also I would like to have something that is I'm going to use for focus. So Man, the scene is so heavy. Maybe not now, but I would like to do that. So, mm, yeah, so something is missing. Something is missing. I don't know what is missing right now. Anyway, um, I guess I need to add maybe. Is it a vector? Is it a map value? I think it's this. I think I need to add it here. Anyway, let's see how it looks like now. I'm going to render. You know, the thing about me is that I'm not good at memorizing, so I just remember some of the things. And I made this tutorial on the go. I just woke up, yeah, let's do it. I wasn't like prepared. And I think that's the beauty, is that if you can't be able to make things without being prepared, then that's the best thing ever. And I think that is what you should always try to achieve, to be able to make things on the go and know that you're not going to struggle trying to. Oh my god. Anyway, I forgot something. I forgot to add filmic color management. And I don't think it's I'm supposed to do this. I don't think if it's even installed in here. Anyway, since it's not even installed, I should just set it back to default. Anyway, too late. Yeah, in this Blender version, it's not installed. You're supposed to use filmic, but it's not a big problem. Anyway, let's see what we're going to have. So yeah, it has some noise of fireflies. This would have been taken care of with some denoising, but yeah. Another thing I would like to note is that I'd like to show you the specs of my computer so that you can be able to compare. You know, it's nice to always compare it with whatever you are dealing with your computer, so that you know. Yeah, so I'm using a Intel Core i5, 16 GB RAM, 64-bit operating system, and I completely have no graphics card in this very computer. In another video, I talked about something called computer hardware, whereby I said when it comes to Blender, the most important thing is actually the processor. And yeah, so let's see, for example, how much RAM Blender is actually using right now. Where are you, Blender? It's using 4.7 gigabytes of RAM. So I have 16 GB RAM, but Blender is actually using 4. So in short, let's say 5 if we round it up. So I have about 10 GB of RAM that is completely useless to Blender. But you know what Blender is using the most? I also forgot to show you. Let me show you here. CPU. Look, Blender is actually using all the CPU. But when it comes to RAM, it doesn't use all the RAM. So even when it comes to buying a computer for Blender, try to get the best processor you can for the money that you have. When it comes to graphics card, well, you could get a good graphics card, but in most cases, your graphics card will be unable to render because, you know, graphics card have a memory limit or something. You know, I have a graphics card, a GeForce something. I don't even know the numbers, but one thing that I bought it for a good price, around I think it was around $400 US. The thing that I feel bad all the time is that I don't use it. When I say I don't use it, it's not usable most of the time. So yeah, anyway, let's get back. Our scene is ready, and as you can see here, we have overdone ourselves. And anyway, so I'll fix it. I will fix it. But you see the importance of that of this node is I want it to have some miss, so I can. Anyway, let me show you what you can do here. It is the node. I think this is the one. Map value. Is this the one? Use minimum, use maximum. Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, so this is what we can do with this node. Let me use as a backdrop. Should add here an output viewer node so that you can see what is happening. Press V. See how beautiful it looks. So I can actually take this out and take, have it look like this. Or as in a more realistic case, if I'm going to have mist from the back, I should have some from the front. So I'm going to add it like 0, 1, something like that. Or I can just change this color and set it maybe to a bluish tone. I don't know, you can go crazy. Wow, look at that. Looks so crazy. So you can play with these settings to get the feeling that you want, but I'm going to leave it to pure white for now. And then I'm going to have, I'm just going to play with this. I don't like it. Maybe size. I should play with the size. Yeah. So there I go. I have a scene that is looking spectacular, should I say? Well, so one thing I don't like about this this boundary here, but I could have fixed that by making this mist thing here settings. I should have made it bigger. As you can see here, it says distance over which the mist fades in, but it was just a small distance, so that's why I have a sharp fade in here. But anyway, so the Animation Factory, we have created a scene like this in how long? 48 minutes. Wow. And this is a scene actually I could play with and create stuff, and yeah. So thank you. We have created something very good in a very short period of time. Welcome to the Animation Factory. I hope I see you, and I think if you are not in the Animation Factory, I think I should say I will put some files down below for you to download. Maybe you just have to enter your email and then you'll get the download. So thank you. I don't want to waste time. Oh my god, it's taken an hour. I want to take 30 minutes, but I've taken more, and I think it's because I wasted a lot of time thinking. But anyway, there we go. We set it up. I could animate, but that will take a little bit longer. So the whole purpose is to create an animation in weeks instead of months, not in days instead of months, weeks. Okay, see you next time.